Hello and welcome back to the course on QR code based payment. In this section, we'll be talking about what are different components of a QR code and how does this unstructured looking QR code has a beautiful structure and the format which helps a barcode reader or a QR code reader or a smartphone to identify what are the content of a QR code. So let's get started right away. In this section, we have dissected a QR code to understand different components and different parts of a QR code. So to start with, the first part is called quiet zone. So quiet zone actually separates the QR from any other data which is surrounding it. So there is no data in this quiet zone, it just separates it from the clutter. It might be a possibility that you have pasted or someone has pasted a QR code in a newspaper which has a lot of information. So it helps a smartphone or a QR code reader to identify that this is a quiet zone and now the QR code information will start from the finder pattern portion. So the next part is called finder pattern, which helps a QR code reader or the smartphone to identify what is an orientation of a QR code, which means how it is placed, whether it is vertically placed or horizontally placed, or what is a correct orientation, or how to read the data in what structure. Then third part is called separator, which separates the finder pattern from all other data which is there in the QR code. Then there's a timing pattern which talks about how large the data matrix is and how dense this QR code data is. Then we talk about alignment pattern, which helps to orient the image and helps a barcode reader or a QR code reader or a smartphone reader to identify how this QR code is aligned. And it also helps to handle the distortion into the QR code. So when we talk about distortion, there could be an image at the center of the QR code or a part of QR code be damaged. So in that case, alignment pattern helps a lot. So alignment pattern covers up the lost data and then helps to complete the action which the QR code is supposed to do. Then sixth part is called data format. So which means that what kind of data is there in the QR code? Is it a calendar? Is it a website URL? Is it a text or it is a map? What kind of information is there into the QR code? Then number 7, which is called version identification, which means, as I told you in the last section, there are different versions up to 40. So which version this QR code has. So that is also helpful for a card reader or a smartphone to identify, because on the basis of that, there are a lot of information which gets encrypted and decrypted whenever a smartphone or the QR code reader fetches the information from the QR code. Then eighth, which is the largest part of this QR code, has actual data and error correction. So we'll talk about the error correction in a short while. Hence, I said that there is a structure to this unstructured looking code. We might be looking at many of the QR codes, and it is not possible for a human eye to actually understand what is there in the QR code, and hence we think that this is just a random QR code or some black or white dot which has been just pasted in some random order. But after understanding different parts of a QR code, now you will appreciate that there is a structure in the QR code and there are different parts in the QR code which plays together to perform a predefined action. So let's see what are error correction level. So in the QR code, if you look at the bottom side or any of just the pattern finder, you will find that there is something called error correction level. So if it is complete, it shows that the error correction level will be L, and if it is half, then M, then Q and H. So these are only 4 error correction levels. So I will talk about what does this L, M, Q and H means in a QR code. So QR code uses an algorithm which is called Reed-Solomon error correction algorithm, which means it helps a QR code to perform desired action even if some part of the QR code is covered or damaged. So there's an algorithm. So since, as I told you, this is not a technical course, we're not talking about an algorithm. If you're interested, you can read more about it from the website. So this algorithm helps to cover up for the distorted part of the QR code or covered part of the QR code where you have an image or a logo. So there are 4 collection levels used in the QR code. So how much distortion of cover up image in a QR code is fine. That's what is defined by level L, level M, Q and H. So if you have a level L QR code, which means that up to 7% of damage or cover up is fine with this QR code. If you have more than 7% of damage or cover up, which means that this QR code will not perform. So when I say cover up, which means that a logo or an image that you want to put inside the QR code, if you have a L level QR code, it should not cover more than 7% of that QR code. Similarly, if it is a level M QR code, then 15% damage is the tolerance level. If it's a level Q, then 25%. If it is a level H, then up to 30% of the damage or cover up. So these are 4 error correction levels defined till date, which talks about the distortion and the cover up of the QR code. So because of these error correction levels, you will find out that different QR codes with the same information by different website might look different. Why? Because each website might be using a different level of error correction. So depending on the error correction, you will see there will be change in the black dots and white dots. While it will not matter much to you, but then the content gets changed because accordingly the alignment pattern and the pattern finder, everything gets aligned to cover up the distortions. So hence we are not going too deep into the types and specification of QR code and the versions of QR code, which is up to 40. So that is itself a different subject, and I'm sure that you will be able to find out different courses which talks in detail about the QR code, because itself is a technology and itself is a different subject. So for the benefit of theme of this course, which is more about business orientation of the QR code, how QR code is being used in payments, we are not talking much in detail or the technical part of this QR code. So that's all on the QR code, the components of the QR code and error correction level. See you in the next section. Till the time, take care and think about QR code based payments. Thank you.